How are you, Jamie? Thank you for sending the images of your drawing and your photo reference to me. Let's take a look at the reference first. The head is tilted almost like a 30-degree angle. Compared to your drawing, you miss the basics angles, basic measurements. Let's take a look. And basically, the egg shape is tilted in this angle. This egg shape on this side of the face, like that. And you see the center line going through over here, like this. The center line of the drawing, right, of the face. And the eye from here going to all the way to this side. This is the eye line, right? And there's the nose, the bottom of the nose right here. And the mouth and the lower lip, okay? That's the chin right over here. So, and the eyebrows, you can connect the eyebrows from this side of the eyebrows all the way to this side of the eyebrows. So you can draw a line over. So you can see that those are almost parallel in situation. And the face coming over here and a little straight line coming down here. So those are the very basic structure we need to capture first. And on this side of the face coming down over here. And the ear, the bottom of the ear, let's take a look. Bottom of the ear is over here, and the top of the ear we cannot really tell because the hair has been covered, the top of it. So let's take a look. And if I connect this to the nose, and actually her face is kind of tilting up a little bit. So when the face is tilting up, it will look like this, like a little curve coming up like this. You see that from here to the nose line coming over here. So we can see in the middle of there between the eyebrows and the eye, that could be the top of their ear. So we can put a little curved line coming on this side. So this would be the top of the ear. That should be for sure right here, like that, right? So okay, and the hairline, and we can take this part. This is supposed to be the same as from the nose to the eyebrows, and as it is from here to here, this is 1 and 2, and keep coming up, there's the 3. So you can see that this is the hairline. The hairline start right from here, and even though the front over here has some hair, it covers a little bit of the forehead, but the hairline start over here, and that's the top of the head. Whenever you do a drawing, always think about that, how can you simplify it? And this is the important part. We need to always simplify it. Okay, don't complicate it. Simplify it, start from simple shape, from general, and understand how the face tilting up. And maybe that is the line curving like this, or coming down, looking down, and the line would be going this way, not like a straight line, right? So take a look at this again. Now from here we break it down to a simple structure. Let's take a look. And the corner of the mouth here, the corner of the mouth right here, the corner of the side of the nose right here, the other side of the nose right here. So you can also compare with the inside of the eye. The inside of the eye here, the inside of the eye looks like a right here, right? So this is actually the same width as the nose width, right? It's simple. And take a look at the corner of the eyes right here. This side, the corner of this eye is right about here. So you can see that too. And this is the same as the space between the two eyes, and the same as the other side of the eye, the other eyes on the right hand side, right? And the eyebrows, it's coming up like this, coming up like that. So this is, if we don't see this, let's take a look. This is our structure, the simple structure. To do a little study, thinking about that, always start from simple first. How can we make the nose look higher? So we actually see that on this side, there is they're showing the light coming from this direction. So this side of the plane of the nose, the side of the nose, and actually slightly a little bit off, not facing to the light side. So the top over here have the highlight, like that, right? And now take a look at the turning, the shadow side and the light side, right? Right here, we can divide that in here. You can see that this actually the shadow side of the face. So when you turn like this, also in here, on this side of the face over here, there's a half a little bit, also have this plane, and it's facing a little bit away from the direction of the light because it's turning that direction. And also there is a triangle on the top over here that also coming in like this. So is that showing that a little bit darker? And also on the eye area. The eye area is the eyeball, and this is the shadow on this side, and also it turning away, right? So try to understand how this whole all the shapes work, so that when we are drawing it, it will become very simple. Like on this side, it would be the eye turning away on this side. Okay, let's take a look at it without seeing the image on the top. And how we're going to start it. So the first thing we're going to do, let's use the soft charcoal pencil. You decide on where you're going to draw. So let's say we're going to draw it here to here. So the chin, let's make it a little smaller. Like the chin right here. How about that? Right? Now, let's take a look where we're going to place the whole face. Okay, where we're going to place the whole face. About here. And you decide, and whatever that makes sense to you. Okay, maybe a little bit more to the right side. I'm going to move a little bit more on this side, like this. And this much it probably belong to the hair on the right side, and this will probably belong to the hair on the top, like that. Just think about it, and you use graphite pencil or charcoal pencil, doesn't really matter that much. And let's start from simple. Like say this is the left side of the face. Just thinking how you organize the things together. You still can change it. We haven't done that much yet, right? We're just going to focus on the face, and knowing that there is just a lot more on the shoulder, on the dress, like this way. Simplified it. Like say, we're not doing those details on the shoulder yet. Just thinking about that from here, and actually extend it, it's almost connect to the space of the lower lip of the mouth. Okay. If this is the composition you want, if this is, and then you're going to, okay, confirm it, take a look at that. Okay, next thing you're going to do, you're also probably helpful in this kind of situation. You want to draw the center line, right? That's good. Now, before we go further, we should do a little measurements to see whether or not this is fit into the square theory. Okay, let's take a look. I'm going to do a little measurement, and from the bottom of the chin to the eyebrows, and compare to the left and to the right of for the cheekbone. It's very much it is. Okay, so I'm going to take this and this, we define the left and the right, and we'll do a little measurements. And I take this is the width, and coming up over here, ooh, that is a lot. So in that case, why don't we define it and the eyebrows probably around here, like that. So we leave enough room for the forehead. So this is one of the episodes in Portrait Basics. Like say this is the, because almost like a 90-degree across to the center line here, right? Connect to the left eyebrows and the right eyebrows. I'm gonna take this is the bottom of the chin, we can define it, and take it over here and gonna rotate it. Oh, the face definitely is too wide. Now I'm gonna take it here and then on this side. Take it one more time. Take this part and rotate it, because we already find where to find that is the left side of the cheekbone to the right side of the cheekbone. It actually the same as the underneath the chin to the eyebrows. And if you haven't seen the episodes, the very short episodes in the Portrait Basics, go find it. And either you can find it, if you're patron, find it in the Patreon. I know Jimmy, you're a patron, but if someone else is looking at this videos in the future, you can find it on YouTube as well. Okay, now this is good, and something we cannot just rely on our instinct. We just have to do some measurement. Now this is, look at this angle. This angle actually tilted a little bit more on this direction. The face is coming in a little more like this. It's over here too, coming in a little bit like that, and coming to the bottom here. This is good. Now we know the eyebrows line right here. That's good. Now from the eyebrows, we can divide in the half. That actually the nose, as we already know that we already mentioned about it. So roughly, we put the left side and the right side of the nose, like that. And where's the eye? The eye, I can see that it's about from here to here. We can divide it into 3 proportion. And you can see that 1, 2, 3, almost 3 proportion, a little bit lower than 3 proportion. And that is the place for the eye. We can draw the line all the way across to the right side. And earlier we know that there is still now actually on the right side over here is not the full eye space. So there's only probably half. I think it's half from what I see, half. So I can actually easily mark the line. This is one eye space, and this is half, right? This half. You can find that actually the mouth right here, and take a look at the location of the mouth. And I think is this line, the center line, is almost the middle from the bottom of the nose to the chin. Everybody's look different, so you don't have to use one rules for every portrait. Okay, now coming to all the way over here, but be a little careful that notice that this all looks close to parallel. Okay, parallel those lines together, because the face is almost like a frontal. And let's take a look. And this compared to this edge of the nose, we already find out by comparing the distance between the 2 eyes. Now from here coming over there, this kind of angle, and it looks like right here, right? This is the corner of the mouth, and on this side, yeah, about straight down. If you do a vertical like this, straight down from the corner of the nose, and this is the corner of the mouth. And let's take a look. And the lower part, the shadow underneath the lower lip is right about here. And then on the top over here, you can add those shades of the upper lip. Okay, that's the scope. We find the important location for those key elements of the face. And now under here, you can also add the catch the shadow from the nose, like this. Now, all right, let's take a look at on this side. This has a, you can cut the shape. This is the shadow side of the eye. We can add a little shape over here, and over here we add another shape, come all the way in here like this. We just see it shape, and the eyebrows turning down like this. Okay, and then come to this side, and there's a shape right over here. We're almost getting there. Okay, shape it this too, and there's a shape. Let's take a look on this side of the face, and starting over here, cutting in. Okay, going through. That's the termination line that dividing the light side and the shadow side. Like this. So this side is actually the shadow side, right? Like this. Good. Let's take a look. And the nose, draw a little curved line coming down over here. That's the bottom of the ear, the lower part of the ear, right here. The ears is a little much darker because the whole thing in the shadow side. Let's take a look at the outside and compare this angle, the hair dividing over here, start over here, and going through on the forehead. Like, take a look at the angle of this compared to the reference, right? It's always angular. Somewhere we can find a relationship. Okay, now coming over here, a little bit turn. There's the cheek, a little bit rounded, and coming through over here, just take a look at the angle of that. It's not vertical. So if you want, you can draw a vertical line next to it. Just like look at the edge. It looks like it coming out a little bit and coming in, but not a lot. And most of us, we like to exaggerate that too much. And then in this area also we can see a little shade because this area, the whole plane over here, is a little bit turning away like this. And if the plane facing to the light in this direction, it will be lighter. But if you're turning like this, a little bit darker. And if you're turning away like this, the lighting over here, no light coming into this area in this plane. And this is on this side of the face. Okay, you also can, from the corner of the mouth, you can draw a little small triangle coming over here. Make it a little bit dark over here too. And this plane, and also a little bit turning away to that. And under the chin over here is kind of rounded. So you can see a little bit lighter over here, but a little bit softer coming to this side, right? Good. And the lip, at the lower part of the lip, the upper lip over here, is actually turning like this. It's not flat. So you can see that underneath here, it's a little bit darker, and the upper is more getting more light from the light source. Okay, like that. Okay, we are almost getting there. We take a look at the top over here. And if we are, take this one portion coming up here, the same over here, keep coming up as we see. There's the hairline. This is good. This is what originally what we talk about. The hairline over here and the hair over style over here actually cover a little bit of their forehead, right? Good. Now coming down, take a look at this angle. At this angle, looks like it coming in a little more in here, and actually it's almost like a vertical, coming in more, like that. Good. Always notice this angle. You can compare that angle, particular angle, to the border of the paper, and compare that also with the photo reference, because you look at here almost like a vertical line, as you can see from the photo reference on this side. Okay, now take a look at the edge over here is not that big, and the distance from this line, because we are kind of like develop it from one place to another place, basically from the outside getting inside, and find out all those relationship and use those relationship that we already checked to compare with something that's still unknown, right? So we can see that a little bit bigger than one-eyed width. That is for the outside over here. So double check that. That looks like pretty correct. We're coming up over here. Good. Now, there's the hairline. There's the hairline. I think the hair a little bit too much on the top. We can trim a little like this. Good. And coming to this side. And this side of the hair, the thickness, is probably about like a little bit more than 1/3. A little bit more than half of this. So a little bit more than half is about this much. So we can cut it close up a little bit. But again, those is more like an accessory in the artwork for us. You can always make the hair a little bit thicker, but it's not gonna hurt our artwork, our drawing. Now we can come down over here slightly, coming through a little curved line, and that's the neck, and then you can come down to the dress and so on. You can draw the necklace coming through over here, but this whole thing over here is actually in the catch the shadow, because it just cover the whole face, get the light coming from the top over here, the whole face after blocking the light. So now we can add a little bit details on the shoulder like that. We're not gonna do too much of that. So let's come back to the face. Now we already find out but most of the information that we need, and the large relationship. Okay, that's what we need. And now we're gonna look into say, okay, now we already know the eyes from here to here on this side, so we can do a little bit. As soon as you know where is it, all the relationship they're already put down on the paper, it's pretty easy to draw a small particular areas of the face. That is pretty easy. Like say the inside the eye, the iris is right in here, and the top over here a little bit darker. There's the pupil in the middle. That's a little bit darker, and also right under the eye is catch the shadow. You know, the eyelid actually blocking the light, so you see there is catch the shadow right underneath, right there, right? It's simple, understand? Okay, coming to this side, we already know the relationship between this side and the other side of the face, and these two eyes. And now we're gonna take a look at. Let's draw the eyelid right over here, and the upper eyelid is over here. That's good, right? Good. Let's catch the shadow underneath the eyelid, and you can always use your eraser to revert the paper to be light. Speaking of making it lighter, some artists, they like to use a white charcoal to keep it light. White charcoal, it is one of the solution, but however, I prefer the paper white. You know, it just, nothing is better than natural. Okay, coming over here, but if you use a tone paper, that probably will be a good use of white charcoal, because that you can make the highlight, because the lightest color on the paper is not going to be light enough, right? So there's another reason we have the white charcoal. Okay, take a look at the double eyelid coming over here, and take a look at the eyelid on the top. The eyelid actually turning like this. Look at my hand, turning like this, right? It's turning like the over. So you can see this almost like a half of a shape of a ball, like I said, coming down like that. So at the bottom over here a little bit darker. So pretty easy. And also the eye white inside over here is not white, okay, because it's in the shadow. And now give a little suggestions on the lower eyelid, like that. Okay, now this is good. Let's do a little bit, erase a little bit on the upper eyelid over here. And we can take out the light. Okay, good. All right, now we're gonna keep going. Just add a little bit shape here and there, and then we're gonna do some adjustment. Okay, take a look at this shape. This shape should come in a little bit more here. Good, like that. And we're gonna clear a little bit at the inside corner of the eye here. That's a little bit lighter. Okay, that's good. Just a little adjustment. Now I think we can let go the guideline. Now let's take a look at in between the two eyebrows. There actually are darker shade because they're actually turning in, right? That's good. Now on the top of the eyelid, coming a little curve like this. Let's add a little specific personality to the details. That's good. Right, now we already talked about earlier, and this side of the nose, it actually have some darker tone, and so they're showing the height of the nose. Now see it like this, and on this side, and lots of people, they are drawing a big dark line over here to actually on this side of the nose and try to show it actually that's the nose. We don't need to do that, okay? And get a little bit on this side, a little bit darker. It looks like this eye can move a little bit to the left. So by doing that, we can just move this, the light, a little right triangle right here, and just add that too. And take a look, and maybe the eye white, we can move a little. And that's pretty easy to change it with charcoal and or anything, watercolor or oil. Okay, now what we're gonna move that a little bit to the left. Let's take a look. And the left side of the nose right here. So the corner of the eye is right here. Now that's good. And now over here, the shadow on this side of the shadow is about like this. The shadow shape. You can actually draw that shape, draw the outline of that shape before you fill in the color, because when you're staring at it, you see the shape is very pronounced right there, like that. And that's good. Now we're gonna keep going with here. And on the corner over here is pretty dark, and looks like the connect to the eyebrows, kind of all the way coming down over here, like that. Okay, now we come down to the nose. Let's take a look at the shape of the nose in the shadow side, like this. A little curve coming in over here, and this side of the nose, and a little bit darker, and leave that to be a little bit highlight over there. And let's take a look at this side of the nose. We're gonna let go of those mark, and then we're gonna take a look on the side of the nose. It's about like this. Take a look at the reference, like this, right, coming in, like that. Good. All right, and we're gonna do some blending. All right, after. Okay, take a look, and here on the lower lip, and a little tone like this, and leave the highlight over there. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do a little blending, and then we can finish the drawings very quickly. Okay, take a look. Corner. I think this can be a little thinner, so I'm gonna take a look at that. So there's no need to rush. You have to do it with like a step by step, one step at a time. No need to rush it. Okay, I think this shape moving a little bit more to this side. Okay, now this side is a little bit lighter than that's not in the shadow side. It's just a little bit turning, coming down over here. Okay, and I think this shape, the triangle, can move a little bit more to the left side. And take a look, and this, the dividing line coming through over here, and then coming in a little, and then keep coming down. But however, in general, you can see this shape. Okay, it's almost like a smooth coming down over here. No need to make it in and out. It's just a lot of this. Don't overdo it. Okay, now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna use the blender softly blend into, and you don't have to press it too dark, just a little bit like that, a little bit, blend it. That's good. Now you can do it all the way to the top if you want. You can do it all over the hair like that. And on the face, I don't want to use the blender. Do it because I'm going to use my fingers. So it will be more control, much lighter. Softly blend that. Okay, now I'm going to use just my finger with a very little light little shape and going through over here, and I'm going to leave the highlight, and the forehead has highlight. I'm going to do the adjustment on the whole eye over here on the upper eyelid. It's not light, okay, compared to the lightest light, and also the lightest side on the nose. But I'm going to blend it in through the nose too. I'm going to use the eraser to create the highlight. I'm going to go through that right here. That, and coming down over here, almost like the rest of the face. Okay, and the side over here, I'm going to come in a little, move it a little, get a little bit transition, moving forward. And this can be a little bit darker, connect to that. So this is the time you get down to a little bit small transition to see how it look, and have a little bit soft transition edge over here too on this side. Okay. Now what we are going to do now is use the nitty eraser. Now let's see. Start from the hair. The hair is not too light, but we're going to have the highlight over here coming up like this. Very easy. I always say that, remind my my member and my students that nitty eraser is a drawing tool. It's not, we are drawing the light shape. It's not just a correction. Okay, we sometimes intentionally leave some work for the eraser to do. So like in this case. Now we're going to have the nose a little bit thin, a little bit more on this side. What we're going to do on the top of the nose, we can see that a little light coming here, the highest light, and right in the middle of the nose. Now it creates the illusion of the height of the nose. Okay, now it's good. Use my finger, and underneath over here we can move a little bit on the lower eyelid. Okay, at the corner over here also have a little light. So those are very easy to draw with eraser. When you use the eraser, if you see that it's not really that functional, that probably the eraser looking for some attention. You need to stretch it before it function well. Okay, the corner over here, like that. And we can make this a little bit darker so that I can just make this area a little bit lighter, like that. By the way, the charcoal pencil I'm using is basically compressed charcoal, so it's very stable. This is good drawing materials. And take a look at the lower lid. I'm gonna make this a little bit darker so that I can just come in here, make a little highlight over there, make a little highlight right over here, and on the here, this on the chin. Now this is a little bit lighter, so I can take it out by using the eraser, like that. Right, so this is the beginning of the drawing, and you can keep going to do the adjustment. Over here should be a little bit darker, so you can use the blender, or like me, using my fingers. Now you can also, over here we can make it a little darker for the hair, like this. We can tone it down a little more, and we can do a little texture for the hair, like this. Like that. And you can take it from here and moving on, do a more and more correction. Hopefully this demonstration would help you to, from here on, whatever portrait you're going to do, you always notice the basics, the fundamental structure before you move on. Okay, have fun. If you enjoyed this lesson, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If this is your first time here, please subscribe and turn on notification. I will see you in my next lesson.